Hi friends, thank you for tuning into my channel today. I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial for you on how to make this ribbed crochet border, and you can add this to any project that you're making at the moment. It can be a granny square cardigan, it can be a crochet cardigan. I'm going to take you through the entire border. I don't know if you've watched the first video, but the first video is on how to make the waistband for the cardigan. The third video is on how to make the cuffs for your cardigan. I said this in my previous video, but if you've not watched that one, I'll just tell you because then I'm going to get questions about the yarn that I've used. I don't use standard yarn to crochet with, it's too expensive. So I use bulk machine thread. I've combined 10 strands of yarn to make this cardigan and the borders. In order to make the border, you're going to need the same size crochet hook as you used to make your waistband and your actual cardigan. You're going to need buttons of your choice, and you're going to need a darning needle. I hope that this video is helpful for you. Please like, comment and subscribe because it helps other viewers find my videos. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to use 4 buttons. I've got 8 safety pins here because we need to mark where we're going to put the buttons and where we're going to put the buttonholes. So 4 buttons, as I said. Your first button should kind of be in line with your underarm stitch, and this is a v-neck cardigan, so I'm going to have the buttons on the right hand side and the buttonholes on the left. So my first button, I am going to kind of eyeball this. You can grab a measuring tape if you want to be really specific, but I'm going to mark where the button's going to go, which like level the button's going to go, and the opposite side where the buttonhole's going to go. So that would fall about there. So this is where my first button's going to go. There's the buttonhole. So I'm doing 4. I'm just going to move this up. The last one is going to be down here on the ribbing. So I'm gonna do one like bang in the middle of the ribbing, like there. So I put 1 button there, and then so that's what's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, about there, and we're gonna do the buttonhole there in the border, and now I'm gonna decide another 2, I think. So 1 button here, and the hole would be on the opposite side about there, and the buttonhole we're gonna drop it there. Opposite side, the buttonhole's gonna go there. Lovely. So I've gauged where the buttonholes are gonna be and the buttons are gonna be. Let's now crack on with the ribbing. So we are gonna kind of make this ribbed as well, but we're not gonna do any like significant reducing like we did around the waist here, because if we start to drop and reduce a lot, our cardigan's gonna go like that. Of course we don't want that. So we're gonna start off with the right side where the buttons are gonna go. So that's gonna be on this side that you're looking at from the camera, and indeed I'm gonna work front side up. So I'm going to grab my yarn, grab my crochet hook, and twist the yarn around the crochet hook, and I'm going to go right into the first stitch, the first corner of the ribbed waistband. Just slip single crochet, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I'm going to do 5 single crochets going back down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The reason I've chosen an odd number is because I'm going to add the button right in the middle. So the third chain is where I'm going to make the buttonholes on the other side and add the button on this side. Let's slip stitch into the actual base of the cardigan. Now you do want to go back, you don't want to slip stitch just into one chain here because your ribbon's going to be too big. What we're going to do is we're going to pull through, pick up some yarn, don't do anything yet, and do the same for the next hole. 3 strands of yarn, pull through all of these. I'm going to explain to you in a little bit of detail why we're doing this when we come back down. Turn your work around and go ahead and do 5 single crochets back down. However, we are going to single crochet in the first chain only. This is what's going to make this ribbed. We're not going to go through both chains. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4 single crochet, 5 single crochet. Turn your work back around, chain 1, single crochet all the way back down. Again, back loops only. Sorry, I'm mindful that I said front loop, but back loop as you're looking at this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, my camera's gone out of focus, 4 and 5. Now we've single crocheted up and single crocheted down, so this is 2 lines. If we go ahead and slip stitch into the next chain only, we're going to end up with a huge border because we're going to end up doubling the chains. That's why we need to go through 2 chains. So go through the next chain, don't pull through anything, and go through the next chain, pull through, pick up some yarn, pull through and tighten. So can you see that that ribbing looks in line with what we've got here? If I hadn't have combined 2 stitches and dropped the 2 stitches, this would have been, of course, the same size, but we probably would have been down about here, and the border's going to end up too big. So you need to combine 2 stitches when you're coming back around, going back up and back down. I'm going to do another one with you. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4 single crochet, 5 single crochet, chain 1, turn back around. And another tip is, please don't ever miss that first chain there. Your work will be wonky if you miss it, and it's so easy to miss because it's difficult to see. So look, I have to move my yarn kind of out of the way, and look, there's that first stitch. So single crochet around it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I've come back down to my cardigan. I'm going to go ahead and drop 2 stitches. So I've picked up 1, I've picked up the other, and now I'm going to pull through. Just pull that tight. There. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on off camera, and when I get to the top here and we're looking at doing the buttonholes, adding the buttonholes, I'm going to come back and show you how to do that. So stay tuned, and I'll quickly just complete this off camera because it's the same pattern all the way around. So I have completed the button side of my border. Before I carry on with the left side, I am going to go ahead and affix my buttons, just because I want to make sure that they're perfectly aligned. So I've got a needle here, with some thread on it, and I'm going to start to affix the buttons. So I'm going to affix them on the ribbed side like this, right in the middle. So I'm just going to, I've crocheted my hair into my cardigan because I've got really, really long red hair and it just ends up everywhere. So I'm just going to secure this as much as I can. I'm going in with 3 knots. I'm going to go through the button and through the other side of the button, making sure that I cover the 3rd chain stitch in the center like this, because I want it right in the middle. And now I'm just going to go back and forth through the button a couple of times just to make sure that it's really, really as secure as it can be. Yeah. Just secure like that in the back. And again, 3 is kind of my magic number to secure. So, of course, I'm dropping 3 knots like that. And the rest of the thread, I'm just going to go ahead and work it in to the yarn and my hair like that. And that's the first button secure. So I'm going to stick on the remaining 4 buttons and I'm going to be back to work down this side. This is why I started off by asking you to pop safety pins on the opposite side of where the holes are going to be. The reason is because this section of the cardigan is not ribbed yet. We can't directly measure where the buttonholes are going to be on this side. So look, if I line this up, this buttonhole is much higher than the button because we've not ribbed this yet. That's why I told you to measure before we even start. Now let's look at making the buttonhole. The buttonhole is very much trial and error, so I'm just going to turn my cardigan around and show you here. So I am going to go ahead and single crochet in the first stitch, and in the second stitch I'm going to single crochet, and now I'm going to chain 1, skip the center stitch and single crochet in the next chain and single crochet in the last chain. What I need to do now is chain 1, turn back around. I am going to do 5 single crochets back. 1, 2, but the 3rd is a hole, remember? Single crochet through that gap. 4th single crochet. Oh, I didn't single crochet in the first chain there. Yeah, 4th single crochet. 5th single crochet. Before you carry on, please make sure that your button fits through the buttonhole. If you're using smaller buttons, you may want to adjust. So my button is perfect. So I'm going to carry on with this same pattern all the way down. Now, if you've got a smaller button, you may want to not chain 1 and just go ahead and single crochet in the next chain, as in skip a stitch. Don't make a gap that big. If you've got a bigger button, you may want to chain 2 and skip through chain 3 and 4 and carry on single crocheting around it. This is what I meant by trial and error, the space that you've got for your button. So now I'm going to carry on up until, literally ribbing up until I get to the next safety pin. So I'm going to go through 3 holes because I needed to lift my cardigan just a little bit. It was a little bit droopy, so I've just made that adjustment. I'm going to carry on single crocheting, as I said, until I get to the next stitch marker safety pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna carry on up until I get to here, then I'm gonna do one more buttonhole with you. Do put your cardigan down and just check the progress of how you're getting along. So look, I've got my arms there, I've got the collar nice and there, buttonhole 1, so buttonhole 2 needs to be, buttonhole 1's there, in fact, yeah, 1 is there, so I need to go across 1 more and then come back down. So again, I'm just doing a quick check. If I put the first button through this hole, then my next one definitely needs to be in this row here. So let's go ahead and put a buttonhole right there. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. I'm going to do a chain 1. I'm going to skip the middle stitch and I'm going to do a 4th single crochet and I'm going to do a 5th single crochet. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to turn my work around. I'm going to do a single crochet in every chain space now. 1, 2, go right through the buttonhole 1, 3, 4, and then the last one, which is 5. This one's a bit difficult to get through. There we go. And again, just slip stitch, and I'm going to drop 2 chains like that. So there, we've got our second buttonhole. Where is it? Right there, in the middle there. So I've got 1 there and 1 there. And I'm literally going to carry on all the way down exactly like this, and I'll come back and show you the final result. Okay friends, I hope that was helpful for you. This is what a full picture of the border looks like. It just adds such beautiful detail and brings the entire piece together, as you can see here. We are next going to go ahead and make the cuffs, and that is what video 3 is about. Go ahead and check that out. Most importantly, please like, comment and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to, but it means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for watching and have a blessed day. Bye bye.